Hi everyone. Wes Montgomery's solo on My Favourite Things begins at 1 minute 16 seconds of the tune and is played over the following A-A-B progression. Both the A and B sections are essentially in the key of G minor and end with 2-5 progressions in that key. They also include 2-5-1 progressions in the key of the relative major B flat, with these bars of the B section containing an extended tonicization in that key. Throughout, because the tune essentially remains in G minor or its relative major, Montgomery's note choices are largely drawn from those keys but are coloured where appropriate with extensions, alterations and chromaticism. Over the initial 8 bars of tonic G minor harmony, Montgomery begins his solo using a leap between G minor's 5th and 1st degrees and an ascent which initially moves by step before continuing in thirds to outline G minor's 7th, 9th, 11th and 13th degrees. The leap and stepwise scale can be heard as a motif which Montgomery uses in various guises throughout his solo. From the 13th of G minor harmony, a descent essentially moving in thirds returns to G minor's 5th degree before Montgomery then outlines a D minor 7 chord over the remaining bars of tonic harmony. Superimposing triads and 7th chords in this way is a common means of extending chords of a progression without playing them in full. Here, for example, with the inclusion of the D minor 7 arpeggio, the underlying G minor 7 chord acquires its 9th and 11th extensions. Here, the 5th degree of D minor 7 harmony is prolonged using the modified initial motif, while its 7th is prolonged by an upper neighbour note, also sounding as G minor's 5th. Montgomery's note choices over the C minor 7 chord can all be derived from the 9-note C composite blues scale, which can be heard in a number of ways, such as a combination of the notes of the blues scale in Mixolydian mode with the same root note, or the blues scale in major pentatonic scale with the same root note. From the 13th of this F7 chord, Montgomery begins a long-range line which descends to the 3rd of E-flat major 7 harmony. This line is embellished through these bars by a compound melody which moves to the 3rd of B-flat major harmony and through a number of incomplete lower neighbour notes which are used sometimes in pairs or alone. The root note of A minor 7 flat 5 harmony is anticipated in this bar, as is the root note of D dominant 7 harmony in the following bar. Over both of these chords, Montgomery uses lines similar to that used in the initial bar of his solo, with both lines initially moving by step and then in thirds. The line over A minor 7 flat 5 harmony concludes on its 5th, while the line over D7 harmony concludes on its flattened 9th degree, which can here also be heard as an upper neighbour note to D. Over the initial bars of the second A section, Montgomery uses a parallel interval idea, which here moves in thirds to conclude on the root note and 3rd of G minor harmony. These thirds embellish the beginning of another long-range line, which moves initially to this G over G minor harmony, before then continuing to conclude on the 5th of F7 harmony. Here Montgomery uses A flat, the flattened 7th of B flat major 7 harmony, which is an unusual choice, although here he's colouring B flat major as the dominant 7th of the following E flat major harmony. He also introduced B flat major's flattened 7th here as part of the compound melody near the beginning of the first long-range line. In that usage, the 7th is sounded and resolves over E flat major harmony, while here its resolution is implied. From here until the beginning of the B section, Montgomery's lines begin on the 3rd of each of the underlying chords before ascending to their 5th degrees, and here the line continues through D7's 7th degree to conclude on G minor's 5th. Beginning the B section, Montgomery uses a similar rhythm to that which he used over the beginning of the second A section. Here, however, he repeats G minus fifth before partially arpeggiating the notes of an A minor 7 flat 5 chord, where he uses the natural fifth degree, and the D7 chord, where he introduces its sharpened fifth. In these bars, Montgomery uses the initial leaping motif from his solo's beginning, although here it's used over E flat major harmony, sounding its 7th and 3rd. Through these bars, Montgomery is essentially using chord notes. Here, for example, in E flat major triad sounds C minor 7's 3rd, 5th, and 7th degrees, and here notes of the following G minor triad are used early over F7 harmony, sounding F7's 13th, 9th, and 11th degrees. Here also G7's root note is anticipated, sounding B flat major's 13th. For his solo's final line, Montgomery again implies the initial motif over G7 harmony before using a parallel interval idea which descends in thirds from the 9th to 7th degrees of C minor 7 harmony, and then concludes over F7 harmony with a stepwise descent to B flat and F, which anticipate the root note and 5th degrees of the following B flat major 7 chord. I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. See you next time.